We shall now move away and listen to some of the discussion. What the discussion centered around as the Prime Minister met with chiefs, traditional rulers, journalists, among other groups. Let's take a listen to some of these heads of the various groups in Bedford and what the chat was all about.
Our expectation to visit of the Prime Minister the Southwest region at this point of time where we are facing challenges in our Southwest and Northwest region. We expect that the Prime Minister is here today for us to look for lasting solutions to see how we can solve the socio-political crisis within our country. And we also expect that there are some measures that the chiefs also have taken that we'll be having a one-on-one discussion with the Prime Minister to transmit our message to the head of state. We believe that as the Prime Minister is here, our voices will be heard this time around, since after the national dialogue we realize that there hasn't been any solution. And we believe this time around our message will go directly to the head of state. The chiefs also should be considered, and their opinion also should be.
We are happy that our father, His Excellency John is here today under the leadership of President Obia. What we expect is peace. We want to talk about one indivisible Cameroon, and I want, as the father, since as he's here, he should work with us so that those guys in the bushes can put some sense into their things also, that they should come and join us, so that peace should reign. As far as AFCOM is coming, we should work hand in hand so that peace should reign. Yes, because those guys are not extraterrestrials, they are our children. I want to tell you that now we are even doing door-to-door mobilization to make them to know that there is reason for peace should reign. And I also want to tell the local population that those who want to avoid the terrorists, they are risking their life. You should at least inform the forces of law and order of what is going on in your community, because they are not like, they don't have medicine, they don't have witchcraft to know that Amazonians are coming from this direction. So we should help the forces of law and order. I'm talking as a chief that the local population should help the forces of law and order so that peace should reign. Remember, we stand for one and indivisible Cameroon. This is my flag, and I will never stop loving my lovely country, Cameroon.
We've listened to those different opinions and what was discussed during the tete-a-tete with the Prime Minister. I am Clarice Impower, reporting for my Media Prime.
In talking about solutions to curb the crisis in the restive regions of the country, a former U.S. Assistant Secretary of State for Africa, Tibor Nagy, has in a tweet yesterday reiterated that no military solution will stop the ongoing conflict in the restive regions of the country. According to him, what is in the human spirit cannot be extinguished with force. Cameroon football legend Samuel Eto'o has officially made public his bid to run for the post of president during the upcoming 2021 elections in the Cameroon Football Federation. His manifesto, made public in the later hours of Tuesday, September 21, sees the former Indomitable Lions forward confirm he would be vying for the post of football governance in Cameroon after several thoughts. The plane transporting the mortal remains of Amobe Mevege, Cameroonian journalist and producer, as well as some of his relatives, has landed at the Yaoundé Simalen Airport this September 22. The latter, who died on September 8, 2021, will be buried Saturday, September 25 in Kolbogo, his native village. The 7th contingent of the National Gendarmerie, which was part of the United Nations Multidimensional Stabilization Mission in the Central African Republic, has returned to the country. Joy Ngong tells us more.
After a one-year mission as part of the Multi-Dimensional Integrated Stabilization Mission in the Central African Republic, the 7th contingent of the National Gendarmerie is back in Cameroon. Deployed last September 2020, the gendarmes of the 7th contingent were welcomed by the commander of schools and training centers of the National Gendarmerie and the Chief Health Service of the National Gendarmerie. The welcome ceremony took place September 18, 2020 at the courtyard of the School Command and gendarmerie instruction centers. Upon their arrival on the Cameroonian soil, the gendarmes of the 7th contingent were subjected to COVID-19 tests, after which they had consultations conducted by a team of psychologists. The commander of the schools and training centers of the gendarmerie presented the hierarchy's warm congratulations to the gendarmes for having carried out a successful mission. He seized the opportunity to express the congratulations of High Command to the Cameroonian gendarmes for raising the profile of the national gendarmerie at the international level. The welcome home ceremony ended with an address by the commander of the schools and training centers of the gendarmerie, informing them of the upcoming flag return ceremony. Meanwhile, a meal was offered to the returning gendarmes by the Secretary of State in charge of the National Gendarmerie.
MESA batch of 92 has donated some didactic materials to encourage effective back-to-school in GHS Munya. The donation ceremony took place in GHS Munya, as Clarice Ekowe tells us.
For the past 4 years since the start of the Anglophone crisis, the educational sector in most Anglophone regions have been under severe attacks. This entails the burning down of schools, kidnapping of both teachers and students by armed separatists. The story of GHS Munya has not been different.
The first challenge we have is a security challenge. You can see that so many of the students are not here today because of the crisis we are going through. So we abandoned for 3 years and only came back, and we have not been able to maintain the classroom.
Given the determination by these students to be educated despite the strained academic conditions, these are members of Munya Ex-Students Association, the batch of 92, also known as MESA 92. They have come with didactic materials and special gifts for some meritorious students and all the teachers of GHS Munya. The symbolic donation, according to one of the members of MESA 92, is in a bid to encourage these students and the teachers to hope for better days ahead.
As for me, it's a school that I passed through. So I decided that I made up my mind after knowing the condition that they're going through, especially during this crisis. I asked myself if they can come back, they brave the fear and come back in this institution. It means they are worth supporting.
The items, which comprise of reams of A4 papers, cartons of chalk, exercise books, among others, according to the principal of Munya, will go a long way to ease teaching and learning by both the teachers and students, respectively.
This school, so many students don't have exercise books. There are times when we come in as teachers to help buy exercise books for them. So with these few exercise books they have had, it's a laudable, it's very, very laudable.
While these students have shown interest and their willingness to pursue their education, people of goodwill have been called upon to join hands and give sound education to these students, among which majority of them are ITPs and whose parents can barely afford for their academic expenses.
And out of the country, the head of Sudan's Sovereignty Council has called for unity after a reported failed coup attempt by a group of soldiers. General Abdel Fattah made the call Tuesday 21 during a visit to the military base in Khartoum. He said the coup attempt was the latest manifestation of the national crisis, referring to deep divisions during Sudan's move to democracy, and that the plotters had made extensive preparations which were showcased in the security breakdown in cities, blocking national roads, and persistent instigation against the civilian government. The leaders of the coup attempt have been arrested, according to a government spokesman. And that was it for today's edition. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. You'll get details of these stories and more stories in our 6:30 p.m. Prime News with Font Quinta. Meanwhile, stay blessed in the company of programs on My Media Prime Television. Bye.